Hello everybody, Nora back again. So I decided to share my TBR for BlackAthon. Now, if it is that you do not know what BlackAthon is about, BlackAthon is a readathon that will be taking place throughout the entire month of February. It's organized by Jessie of Bow Ties and Books, Francina of Francina Simone, and Lauren of the Novel Lush, where it's all about celebrating Black writers and Black stories and Black characters. And there are actually a lot of pretty amazing challenges that the three of them came up with that I am really eager to sink my teeth into, because this is my first readathon of the year and I want it to be banging. So the very first challenge says feel the love, read a book of any genre featuring romance between two Black people or a Black person and a person of color. And the first book I want to read that would fit that challenge is Pride by Ibizo Boy. Now, this is a Pride and Prejudice retelling. Pride and Prejudice is one of my favorite classics, and Elizabeth Bennet is one of my favorite female characters of all time. She's feminist, she's headstrong, she's brilliant, she's amazing, she's fantastic, and I want to see where the similarities lie between her and Zuri, and where Zuri differs in our own unique right. The next book I want to read that would fit this challenge is Shadowshaper by Daniel Oze Alder. Santiago is an Afro-Latinx teenager who discovers that she has the ability/powers to imbue magic in art, and she has to fight the darkness, and it just sounds so fantastical. Plus there's apparently a slow burn romance that is beautiful, and I'm just looking forward to reading it. The next challenge says Wakanda Forever. Read a graphic novel or comic series with a Black or African MC. The first comic I will be reading that fits this challenge is Abbott. Now, Elena Abbott is a badass Black woman, a tough-as-nails investigative journalism who uses her voice and her platform to speak on social injustice issues, whilst being the only Black reporter in the Detroit Daily and one of the only few Black reporters in the entire city. The year is 1972. She deals with institutionalized racism and institutionalized sexism as well, and uses a voice to tell the truth, to bring the uncomfortable truth to the masses. And it just sounds like it's going to be a fantastic read. I've had it on my TBR for like forever, and I am definitely looking forward to reading it in February. Now, the next comic I want to read as well that fits this challenge is Black. Black answers the question of, what if Black people are the only one with superpowers in a world that hates and fears them? Because our protagonist starts the story by being shot by a cop, but he survives because that is the secret. And I love the fact that it's a social commentary on where the world is with regards, violence against Black bodies, and how the writer decides to tackle this by giving Black people the ability to survive, and I'm definitely looking forward to reading that as well. The next challenge says Hear Us, any work by Black or African author, and one of the books I want to read for that challenge is 100 Walls of Salanga by Aisha Aruna Atta. Now, this book is all about the Great Scramble for Africa, which is just a nice way of saying European powers decided to fight over African countries like children fighting over their toys and who gets what. Anyway, so it talks about the scramble for Africa and the resulting slave trade through and how it affects everyday people through the eyes of our two main characters, Amina and Werche. One used to be an independent woman who was captured by an opposing tribe and became a slave, and the other one is the daughter of a war chief, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how the story is told. The next book I want to read for the challenge is The Sellout by Paul Beatty, which is apparently a satirical piece about a young man who grows up in isolation, and after the death of his father by police violence and the removal of his hometown from the map in order to save California embarrassment, he decides to take drastic action by initiating slavery and segregating the local high school. Yes, it sounds just as nonsensical, and I want to read it because apparently it's a nonsensical but brilliant piece. The next challenge is Feel the Beat, which is all about spoken word poetry. Now, Jesse of Bow Ties and Books shared 4 of their favorite poems, and we're meant to listen to all 4 of them and then decide on which one of them is our favorite and share them with a friend or talk about it on social media and basically talk about why we love these poems and how they've affected us. And I'm looking forward to it because I love spoken word poetry. I think it's beautiful. I love the lyrical cadence to it, and I'm interested in in listening to them all and sharing my thoughts. The next challenge is more than a color. We house complexities within us as Black people, so we are to read a book that stars an intersectional Black character. So it could be Black and LGBTQ, it could be Black and neurodivergent, it could be Black and disabled, etc. Just intersectional Black character. Now, the very first book that fits that challenge for me and that I intend to read in February is Lilith's Brood by Octavia E. Butler. It's a collection of the 3 stories in our Xenogenesis trilogy, all about the merger of aliens and mankind, told through the eyes of Lilith Iyapo, who is killed when Earth is destroyed by war and is resurrected centuries later by the Oankali, an alien species who set out to heal the Earth by genetically merging themselves with mankind. And turns out that the Oankali are mankind's children. I know, it sounds like a trip, but apparently it's also a science fiction masterpiece. And I've had this on my TBR for like forever, and I figured this would be the month to read it. There's apparently quite a lot of representation in this, genderqueer characters. I think I heard someone say that there might be a disabled character, I'm not sure, but I do know that there is queer rep, and I'm looking forward to meeting them. The next book that fits the challenge for me is Everfair by Nisi Shaw. Now, Everfair is an alternative history / historical fantasy / steampunk novel about what would have happened if the Congolese had developed steam technology earlier, and how that would have changed the face of Belgian colonization of the Congo. Fabian socialists from Great Britain, African American missionaries buy a piece of land from King Leopold II and turn it into an utopia for native populations of the Congo, freed American slaves that are returning to Africa, and mistreated Africans from other parts of the world who all flee to this utopian society. It sounds like it's going to be amazing because these are all different people, different sexualities, all coming together and living in this utopian world that is called Everfair, and I'm looking forward to seeing how that plays out. Now, the last challenge for BlackAthon is In This Together. Read the group book with us, and the group book is The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo. Now, our lead character, Xiomara Batista, discovers slam poetry as a way to relate with the world and to understand her mother's strict Catholicism. Her poetry is her voice, and she refuses to be quiet in a world that would have her be quiet. I learned that it's written in verse, and that sounds spectacular, and I am looking forward to reading it. So yes, those are the books I am going to be reading for BlackAthon all throughout February. Let me know if you've heard of any of these books, if you've read any of these books, if you intend to read any of these books. Drop it all down in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I make new videos every Sundays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and I will see you soon.